I I just got a text from Patrick, who's on the channel quite frequently, and he said that Ozzy's dead. So I hopped on X or Twitter, and it seems like it was just announced 10, 15 minutes ago. So I'm kind of in shock. Uh, so I don't I don't even know what I'm going to say, but I wanted to come on, and I don't know, just talk about it. I guess I feel like in a way, when the final concert was happening, the Back to the Beginning Ozzy show, and Patrick and I did a video, and I said I was very leery of that concert because I was worried about what would happen if Ozzy went out there and couldn't do anything, and I didn't want our final memories of Ozzy to be a disaster. I was really worried about that because Ozzy's part of Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is basically acknowledged to be the creators of heavy metal. This thing that we all love so much. And I didn't want it to go down and just have people go, "Oh, I wish they wouldn't have done it." Well, I was proven wrong, and gladly so. I mean, I didn't watch the live stream. I've seen highlights and clips and other people talking about it. And even though Ozzy was in a chair, it went off as well as you could have dreamed it could have gone off. And if anything, and now knowing that, it's July 22nd, and he's gone, and it makes now I'm like so glad that they did it, because now our lasting memory will be of Ozzy on stage with Black Sabbath, and going down heroically and triumphantly, with that being his final memory. And he was diagnosed. I'm looking at an article from the New York Post. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's, right? Like 5 years ago. And my dad is 80 shit. My dad is 84, and he is in a home, and he has dementia. His mind is gone. He doesn't recognize anybody. He can speak haltingly. He has to wear a diaper, and I'm almost, it's like, this is so shocking. So just bear with me. I didn't want, I don't to I'm not ashamed to say that, but you don't want your heroes, and my dad is a hero. He's my stepdad, but I call him my dad. He was an alcoholic. I hated him when I was younger. But he quit drinking May 27th of 1987 and became this great guy. So I have all these great, he became the dad that I never knew he would become. And I don't, when people talk about him, I don't want the memory to be of, oh geez, he doesn't know anything, he blabbers, and he wears, so in a way, you look at, not that, but Ozzy, this figure who I've never even met, but has so much of our respect for everything that he's done for this music that we love. And he has a sordid, not Charlie, to sit my, yeah, Charlie's here. He has this sordid past. You know, there's a lot of bad in his past. Tons of addiction. Things that he's maybe done. You know, there's rumors about things that he's done to Sharon. And you know, I'm sure he probably had a lot of regrets about his past, just like I have regrets about my past. I'm an alcoholic. I was a shitty father. And I hope that when I go, the memory of me will be that I bounced back from all of this negativity that dominated a large part of my life. I think Ozzy bounced back from a lot of the negativity. You know, the guy was in Sabbath, but at the end of Sabbath, they're getting, you know, upstaged by a little known band named Van Halen in 1978. Sabbath blows up. Ozzy's like lost, drinking his life away, drinking and drugging his life away. But Sharon is there. And for all the negativity that gets said about Sharon, and I've said it myself, Sharon helped Ozzy get out of that shit heap that was his life in the late 70s, early 80s, and helped him bounce back. And through all of those addictive years in the 80s, Sharon stayed by his side. And he got sober around, you know, 80, 89, 88, in time for my favorite Ozzy album, No More Tears. And I have said frequently that album is all killer, no filler. I love that thing. And even though I think there were times he fell off the sobriety horse over the years, in general, Ozzy stayed with his wife and has, from everything that I know, a solid relationship with his kids. So, you know, take the creator of heavy metal, you know, the godfather of heavy metal, if you will, and damn it, the guy stayed with his wife, and the guy was there for his kids as much as he could be, and you have to salute that. And you know, I mean, damn it, it almost feels like this. It almost feels like he had Parkinson's for 5 years. He hung on long enough to do this final show. And then he was like, you know what? My work here is done. And he sailed off into the sunset, for however cheesy that sounds. You know, like I said, I did a video seriously doubting the Back to the Beginning concert. And I gladly say, hey, I'm so glad it happened the way it did. And that he got to hang out with his brothers in Sabbath one more time. He got to perform for the fans one more time. And then he was like, okay, my time here is done. I did what I needed to do. So I saw Ozzy. I think I saw Ozzy with Rob Zombie opening in the early 2010s, maybe late 2008, 9. I can't remember exactly. And it was phenomenal. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and claim that I'm the world's biggest Black Sabbath fan. Black Sabbath was a little bit before my time. I loved a lot of Ozzy solo. I probably loved the hits, the Black Sabbath hits. But whether you were a Sabbath fan or an Ozzy fan, I think everybody recognizes his importance, not just to heavy metal, but to music, period, and to pop culture. I mean, the Osbournes was huge. I mean, there's a large group of people who probably know Ozzy as a TV star more than they know anything about Black Sabbath or Ozzy Osbourne. So I think Ozzy is one of the people in metal or in rock that transcended pop culture. You know what? Anybody, millions of people who don't know shit about rock or heavy metal know about Ozzy. So I just wanted to come on and just get something here. If it sounds like I'm jumping on a tragedy, whatever. I mean, maybe some people will think that, but I think with what I do on the channel and with how influential Ozzy was to all of these bands and this music that we talk about here, he deserves one final shout out. So Ozzy, thank you for everything that you did for music and for this thing that we love so much. I'm so glad you got to say your final goodbye at the Back to the Beginning concert, and now you can rest easy. And I hope that I and the people that promote this music that you created and the people that play this music that you helped to create, I hope that we carry on your memory in a way that would make you proud. So I salute you. Ozzy Osbourne, dead today, July 22nd. Man, your memory will never be forgotten, and you have created such a body of work that will live on forever. So God bless the memory of Ozzy Osbourne, and man, to all his friends and family that are actually close to him, and to his fans. You know, it's a tough day, but I also think that we're gonna, you know, this is gonna be a day that we're gonna look back on and say, hey, this was the end of something amazing. But I think Ozzy did it his way, and we can all be happy about that. Okay, take care of yourselves.